So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Those Thrilling Days of Yesteryear, a live recreation of your favorite shows from the golden age of radio. Now today, we visit the underworld with two iconic shows that have become synonymous with old-time radio itself. Now, police dramas and cop shows have been on the air for many years, but our first show that we're doing today broke the mold and paved new ground for law and order. The story you're about to hear is true, was announced before every episode, indicating that these were real events, real crime, and real justice. It wasn't always pretty or flashy, sometimes they didn't always get their man, but you could bet that this true crime drama was always exciting. Now, of the show Dragnet, nearly 40-year run from 1948 on the radio to even a hit on the television and even a couple of motion pictures, there's probably no more well-known phrase than Joe Friday's classic and monotone delivered, "Just the facts, ma'am." But actually, the real fact is Jack Webb, who played the legendary cop, insists that the phrase was never a part of the show. And in fact, it was only made popular after Stan Freberg satirized it in his own comical version. Speaking of iconic lines from classic radio dramas, when you think of old-time radio, the phrase, "Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men," always seems to come to mind. In fact, ever since we started doing these shows 7 years ago, people keep saying, "Oh, do you know, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?" And people keep repeating this line over and over, and it's become our cultural way of saying, "I know about old-time radio. I know that line." Well, beginning in the pulp, The Shadow began in the pulp fiction books and magazines, and in fact became one of the kingpins of radio, lasting for 23 years through the 30s, 40s, and well into the 50s. And along with his many other radio roles, Orson Welles, commander of the entire entertainment industry of the golden era, commanded both the wealthy and reserved Lamont Cranston and his alter ego vigilante of the night, The Shadow, who used the power of a special hypnosis he learned somewhere in his travels in the Orient to cloud men's minds. And in fact, it was this ability that enabled him to slink beyond the shadows and into the underworld. Now, it was The Shadow, along with other memorable characters like Sherlock Holmes, the Scarlet Pimpernel, and Zorro, that inspired another masked avenger of the night that we know very well today, Batman. And like Batman, The Shadow was committed to bringing all evildoers to justice by whatever means possible, even if it meant working outside the law. Now, a little extra trivia here. Orson Welles wanted to add to the mystery of the character by not reading his script ahead of time. So he would always read it for the first time right during the radio show. And thereby, he himself would not know how the Shadow would get out of some fiendish trap. However, I will have to admit that we are not Orson Welles, and we did do rehearsing. And we did that so that we could perform these two shows for you just as they aired, word for word, sound effects, music, and all. And while you are listening, you might pretend that you are one of those who had the fortune of being in the live studio audience as they watched their favorite performers do their thing. Or perhaps you might just wish to sit back, close your eyes, and imagine you are sitting in your living room in front of the old Philco radio, anxiously waiting for your favorite show to begin. So join us now as we take you back to those thrilling days of yesteryear.
The story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Fatima Cigarettes, best of all long cigarettes, brings you Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to homicide detail. For 2 months, a depraved criminal has been at work in your city. Men and women have been robbed, brutally attacked. Your job, get him.
If you want a long cigarette, smoke the best of all long cigarettes, smoke extra mild Fatima. Yes, Fatima is the king-size cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos, superbly blended to make it mild, to give Fatima a much different, much better flavor and aroma than any other long cigarette. That's why Fatima has more than doubled smokers coast to coast. Enjoy extra mild Fatima yourself, best of all long cigarettes.
It's wise to smoke extra mild Fatima.
It's wise to smoke extra mild Fatima.
The documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, March 7th. It was cloudy in Los Angeles. We were working the night shift out of homicide. My partner is Ben Romero, the boss of Stan Brown, chief of detectives. My name's Friday. I was on the way home from the office, and it was 2:25 a.m. when I got to Collis Avenue, number 4656.
Joseph, is that you?
Yeah, Ma, did I wake you?
Well, what time is it?
It's a little after 2.
Oh, you can't keep this up. You've got to have your rest.
Don't worry, I'm okay. We got any cold meat in the icebox?
There's some pressed ham, a few slices of bologna. Didn't you have any dinner?
Yeah, a couple of hamburgers, a piece of pie. I got hungry again.
I had some nice beef stew for dinner. There's some left in the icebox. I'll come down and warm it up for you.
No, I want a sandwich, Ma. You go back to sleep.
You can't live on pie and sandwiches and keep up your strength, working all hours. First thing you know, you'll be getting sick. You need food and you need to rest. Nobody cares when you're sick.
But you didn't have to get up, Ma. All I want's a sandwich. I can fix it.
You better have a bowl full of stew. Here, won't take a minute to warm it up. Nice new potatoes in it. Some of those onions you like, too. White Bermudas.
Not too much now. I get the milk.
It's 2:30 in the morning. What kept you out so late again?
Another stakeout. That same job.
Not that murderer in Highland Park.
No, Ma, the badge bandit, the one that poses as a policeman.
Oh, that one. They certainly ought to do something about him.
Yeah, well, we're trying to. Can't find him.
There's a piece in the paper about it tonight. They say it's just terrible the way he beats up people and robs them.
Yeah.
Badge bandit. The way he treats women ought to be ashamed. They ought to put him away.
Yeah, you got some more rye bread?
Mm-hmm. Are you going to have tomorrow off, Joseph?
Thanks. No, the captain says we work straight through till we get the guy.
I thought you were going to have tomorrow off. You ought to tell the captain you need to rest. You can't go on like this, working all hours. You'll be coming down sick one of these days.
15 robberies, 15 assaults, all in 2 months. Somebody's got to stop him. Stew ready?
I think so.
Okay.
Can't they warn the people? They wouldn't be getting robbed and beaten up if they weren't parked in those lonely places. Mooning, so silly.
Well, afraid we can't do anything about that. It's a public place. You got a right to park there if they want to.
I suppose. Let me have a plate.
Okay, now hold it. Hold it, that's fine.
Just another spoonful. You can't work if you don't eat.
Okay. It's good stew.
Sure is. The butcher where I shop now is nice. His stew and beef's just wonderful.
Yeah?
Ben worked late with you?
Yeah, his wife's sore too. He hasn't been home much since we started on this. It's a tough one.
Well, times certainly have changed since I was a girl. All this robbing, beating up, crazy people.
Well, any mail today?
No, just a couple bills.
We set the alarm. I gotta check back in at 8 in the morning.
8 o'clock? Why so early?
Badge Bandit's got 2 more victims tonight. They're college kids.
Well,
Doctor said he didn't think we should talk to them tonight, so we have to see them tomorrow morning at the hospital.
or are they badly injured?
Well, pretty bad. The boy took a terrible beating. The girl was attacked. Same as the others.
Oh my.
Well, it was very good, Ma. I better get to bed.
Yes, well, your face looks so thin. You need all the rest you can get.
I'll get it.
Now who can that be? Almost 3 in the morning.
Hello?
This is Lorman down at Homicide, Joe. Sorry to bother you.
Yeah, Norman, what is it?
Captain wants you and Romero to meet him down at Hollywood and Laurel right away.
What's the matter now?
Attack and hold up in Laurel Canyon 20 minutes ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, got the area blocked off. Figured they got the man trapped.
Victims get a good look at the guy?
Same description, the badge bandit.
I left the house, went over and picked up Ben. We drove out to the edge of the Santa Monica Mountains, where Hollywood Boulevard ends and Laurel Canyon begins.
We headed back into the cannon, into the blockaded area. Captain Steed from Homicide was there waiting for us.
Hi, Skip.
How are you? Just a minute. Taylor, call communications again. Have them tell the men out on the chart to start moving in.
Right, Captain.
Sorry to call you back. Couldn't be helped.
Okay, how's it shaping up?
3, Commander Search
Yeah,
Detail in
wait
the
a
vicinity of Laurel Canyon. Unit 62K reports that they are at Mulholland Drive and Oakstone Avenue. Nothing further to report.
Okay. What'd you say, Joe?
How's it shaping up?
Well, here's a sketch of the area. Covers just about all the Laurel Canyon district.
Well?
The badge bandit got his victims near the top of the hill here.
Uh-huh.
Old man in the neighborhood heard a woman scream and phoned in.
How sure are we the guy didn't get away?
Well, the man who called in said the bandit had trouble starting his car. Finally, he left it and took off into the brush. He was headed west on this road here.
Captain, I just had a call from communications. The crew from Leighton Prince are on their way.
All right. Any report from the detail up on Canyon Road?
Nothing yet. I'll stand by the radio.
Okay.
How much area we gotta cover?
Well, from the mouth of the canyon here and all the way back to Ventura Boulevard. And on the west here from Lookout Mountain Avenue over to Crestview Drive on the east.
How much we got to go on?
Crowley talked to the victim for a minute before they took him to Georgia Street.
Yeah?
The guy's description is the same. Heavy set, blonde hair, chubby face, horn-rimmed glasses.
Uh-huh. Well, if he's not on foot, there's plenty of underbrush to hide him.
Just a minute. I want to get this call in first. Taylor, have communications contact 32K. Tell them to hold their lines stationary.
Yeah,
Have the others close in from the west and north.
right.
You two better get up on Groveland Drive. The line's pretty thin up there. Olson can use the help.
That's the area where you abandoned the car?
Yeah, and I want you to cover all the houses in that area. Check with everybody you can find in the neighborhood. They may be able to help. If they don't answer, find out why.
Okay.
I'll be making the rounds in another 10 minutes. Check with you then.
All right, let's go, Joe.
Oh, and just one more thing.
Yes, sir?
I'll tell you what I told the rest of the men. This guy's in a corner, and he's got a gun. There's only one way out for him.
Yeah?
Make sure it's not you.
3:45 a.m. Ben and I drove up to Groveland Drive and joined the search. We started our house-to-house canvass of the neighborhood where the suspect had abandoned his car. None of the residents had any further information to give us.
23 hours. Long shift.
Yeah, I could use some sleep.
Wife of mine is boiling mad. She's even mad at the kid.
Yeah, what's the trouble?
Oh, Aunt of hers sent out some flower buds from Oregon yesterday. Gladiola bugs.
Yeah.
Kid was playing with the little girl next door yesterday, and they found the box of flower buds. They put a mess of them in a pot of water and boiled them on the stove.
What'd they do that for?
Who knows?
There's another house up ahead. We better check it.
Yeah.
And then I get some street lights up here.
Yeah. Nice work waking people up in the middle of the night.
I don't like it any more than they do.
Wish we could make them believe that. Nice neighborhood up here. Wonder what the price is on these lots.
Shouldn't be too high. They say real estate's coming down.
Yeah, what is it?
Police officers, sorry to disturb you. We'd like to talk to you for a minute.
Oh, all right. Let me get the door open. So what's been going on in the neighborhood tonight? Some kind of trouble? Cars racing up and down the hill? What's the trouble?
Have you noticed any strangers in the neighborhood in the last hour?
No, I just got to bed 20 minutes ago. I work out at Paramount. We're shooting nights. What's all the commotion anyway?
We're looking for a suspect. He's supposed to be around this area.
I haven't seen anybody. I thought I heard somebody out by the garage a few minutes ago. Went out and looked around, but I didn't see anything.
You checked to see if your car is still in the garage?
No, I left it in the driveway.
No, sir. There's no car in your driveway.
Sure there is. Let me show you. Hey, it's gone.
Can we use your phone?
Yeah, but I saw it just a few minutes ago. The car was right there in the driveway. You think that guy took my car?
Yes, sir. It's a pretty good bet. You got your license number handy?
I don't remember it. I got it on a card in my wallet.
Give me communications.
Can you give me a description of your car?
It's a Plymouth sedan, black,
With the search
two-door
wheel and
Plymouth
detail
sedan
of
with
Laurel Canyon. I've got some new information for all units in the detail.
Here's the license number.
Thanks. Would you broadcast this information to all units in the search detail?
What was the make and model of your car?
46 black Plymouth, a two-door sedan.
1946 black Plymouth, two-door sedan, license number, let me see, 7 X-ray 2569. This car's just been stolen from 10211 Groveland Drive.
Any identifying marks on the car?
Well, I left my keys in it.
No, sir. Any special markings on the car? Maybe a dent in one of the fenders?
Yes, George. Hold on, we're getting it.
The right headlight went out on me last night. I haven't had a chance to fix it yet.
The right headlight on the car is out. Notify all units in the search detail that we believe the suspect is now in possession of this car. All right, thank you.
Let's go.
It must have happened in the last 15 minutes. I heard that noise and I went out to check. The car was there then.
Well, here's our card. We'll be checking with you later.
Yeah, I sure hope you find it. I don't know how I'm going to get to work tomorrow without my card.
We'll notify you.
Yeah. Gee, I sure hope you find it.
Thanks for your help. Come on now.
Seven X-ray 2569, repeat, 7 X-ray 2569. Car has just been stolen from 10211 Groveland Drive. The right headlight is out.
Well, they got it.
His believed suspect is now in possession of this car.
I don't think you could have gotten that car through the blockade yet, do you? Better start searching the side roads, huh?
Yep. There's one. Leading off up to the left, up ahead.
Okay, let's try it. Wait a minute. There's a car coming down the hill towards us.
Sure is making time. Joe, only one headlight on the car.
It's coming right at us. Turn around, quick!
There's no room.
Get over to the inside!
I can't, it's too late.
Ben, turn!
Hang on!
Attention all units, special attention all units in search detail in vicinity of Laurel Canyon. HK reports theft of a 1946 black
You all right?
two-door sedan.
Ben!
License number 7 X-ray 256.
An ambulance was called, and Ben and I were taken to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital. There I received treatment for multiple cuts and bruises and a sprained left shoulder. Ben didn't do so well. He had a possible concussion, 2 broken ribs, and half a dozen severe cuts about the face and arms. We were then taken to the P&F ward, and the next afternoon we had a visit from Captain Steed and Chief of Detectives Ned Brown.
Friday, how you feeling?
Oh, pretty good, Chief.
We saw Romero across the hall. We came up better than he did.
Yeah, that's what I hear. You resting any?
Much better. No danger involved. Needs rest, that's about all.
How long?
We'll be here 2 weeks, according to the doctor. What about you?
A couple of days.
Too bad, Joe.
Badge bandit?
Yeah, looks like you two got banged up for nothing.
Oh?
After he rammed your car, he ditched the Black Plymouth, then we figure he hit the underbrush.
Yeah.
Somehow, while we were hauling you and Ben out of that wreck, he slipped through the lines.
Any fingerprints on the car?
No, none we could use.
That's rotten luck. Guess it was his night, huh?
We're getting more men from Metro Division to help out,
Uh-huh.
and we're doubling the number of decoys around the city.
Police woman, huh?
We'll have each of them planted in a parked car, along with an officer in every area the badge bandit's been working. All we'll have to do is grab the bait once.
Yeah, if he goes for it.
We'll have plenty of time to choose. We'll work the same setup every night till we reach him.
It's a big operation. You might have to run it for weeks unless he quits.
There's only one way a guy like that ever quits.
Yeah?
When we stop him.
Saturday, March 10th, 2 p.m. I was released from the P&F ward and went home. Ben stayed on at the hospital. He had at least 10 days to go before release. Sunday, I spent at home. Monday, I checked back in at the office, and Captain Steed put me on decoy duty for that week along with policewoman Dorothy River. We were assigned to cover an isolated parking area near Mulholland Drive in Beverly Glen. It was a nice view, but the duty was slow. No sign of the badge bandit. Policewoman River and I waited out from evening to early morning, from Monday through Thursday. Friday night came. Same thing. We waited.
How's Ben? You see him today?
Yeah, he's doing fine. He'll be out next week.
Grouchy, I guess.
Oh, sure.
You want a cigarette?
Yeah, thank you.
You can sure tell it's Friday night.
Yeah?
Thanks. College kids are out in force.
Mm-hmm. What time you got?
1:45. Oh, long night.
Yeah, slow.
You cold?
You?
Just a little. It's chilly up here in the early morning. What's that?
It's a car full of kids just pulling out.
Other cars gone too?
Yeah, we're the only ones left.
Stakeouts get on your nerves.
Say, look, if you're cold, you can have my coat. It doesn't bother me.
No, it's all right, Joe. Thanks. Beautiful view up here, isn't it? All the lights.
Yeah?
You like to dance, Joe?
What?
I said, do you like to dance?
Once in a while, I guess. I'm not too good. Why?
Well, our club's having its big annual dance 2 weeks from Saturday.
Yeah?
We might get a kick out of it. It's formal.
That leaves me out. I don't own a tux.
You can rent one, be fine.
I'm afraid I don't look good in a tux.
I never met a man who thought he did. Why don't you try it?
I might be working.
I mean, if you're not working, why don't you come?
You going?
Well, I was planning on
You
it.
got a date?
Not yet. I have hopes.
There's a car pulling in. Yeah. Parked over in back of us.
Oh, I could only make out one person in the car.
Looks like a man. Can't be sure. All right, come on over closer. We might as well look the part, huh?
All right.
He's getting out of the car.
He's coming this way.
Walking over to the side of the road. He's got a flashlight looking around.
He's built like the Badge Bandit. Short, heavy set.
Yeah, he's turning around. He's got his flashlight on us.
He's coming up to your side of the car.
All right, take it easy. You know what to do.
Come out of that car! Police officer!
All right, hold on.
Got a gun, Joe.
I see it.
Come on, I said out of that car, both of you!
All right. All right, drop the gun. Drop it.
Well, that's him.
Yeah,
I'll get the cuffs on him.
thanks. I didn't think I hit him that hard.
You didn't. I did.
Policewoman Dorothy River and I took the suspect to Hollywood Division, where he was booked on suspicion of robbery. Gave his name as Charles Leon Kirby, age 46. Monday, March 19th. Ben was released from the hospital and checked back in for work. A special lineup was held at which 10 of the 17 victims definitely identified Kirby as the Badge Bandit. The suspect had finally been apprehended. Now we started the process of formally charging the man and pressing our evidence against him to bring him to trial. 10 a.m. Ben and I went across the street to the 6th floor of the Hall of Justice to present our evidence against Kirby and obtain a formal complaint against him. We met with Deputy District Attorney Broker.
When did you get out of the hospital, Ben?
This morning. Sure got sick of that place.
Heard about your accident. That guy sure gave you enough trouble, didn't he?
Yeah, he's still giving us trouble.
How's that?
We got in a tangle with another prisoner out in Hollywood Division.
Yeah?
And the other prisoner gave Kirby a pretty bad going over. Cut him up and broke his left forearm. They're moving him in an ambulance from Hollywood to the prison ward at the General Hospital.
When did this happen?
Just this morning. I think they're moving him downtown now.
Tough one. Now, how about your reports on Kirby? They all in order?
Here's a summary report. Alleges 10 positive identifications. Contains 10 counts for robbery and 10 counts for forcible rape.
All right.
Here's 7 other crime reports. There's only partial identification on these.
Okay. What do you got for corroborating evidence
We
against him?
went through Kirby's apartment, found at least a dozen pieces of property he took from his victims, mostly watches and jewelry. The victims identified every piece we found.
Okay. Let me get the details on it. Oh, excuse me a minute.
Sure.
Broker speaking. Yeah, just a minute. For you, Friday.
For me. Friday. When? Yeah, right away. Well, that does it.
What's the matter?
Kirby. He just broke out of that ambulance.
You are listening to Dragnet, the case history of a police investigation presented in the public interest by Fatima Cigarettes.
Actual figures show that extra mild Fatima has more than doubled its smokers coast to coast. So enjoy extra mild Fatima yourself, the king-size cigarette which contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make it extra mild. You will prefer Fatima's much different, much better flavor. You will agree.
It's wise to smoke extra mild Fatima.
It's wise to smoke extra mild Fatima.
The best of all long cigarettes.
As soon as word of Kirby's escape came through, the information was broadcast to all points. All available cruiser cars and men were rushed to the escape area, and a door-to-door canvass got underway. All of the men were given mugshots of Kirby, together with his description. 11 a.m. Ben and I got back to the office. We found a message from Captain Steed to meet him at the Chief of Detectives' office.
Men in the area until further notice. Check the bus depots and the Union Station. Right.
And that's the story, Chief.
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Where do you make the break?
Near 4th and Main. Couldn't have picked a better spot. The ambulance had just crossed 3rd and Main when Kirby slugged the guard. The driver was too busy dodging traffic to notice what was going on in back.
That's a lousy break.
Kirby jumped out of the back end of the ambulance and disappeared in the crowd. No sign of him since.
That's fine. Takes us almost 3 months to reach the guy, and he breaks away on a cheap fluke like that.
Well, he doesn't have many friends in town. He's only got one we know of.
Yeah?
A brother. Kirby stays with him pretty often from what we can gather. His brother lives in a rooming house down in Alameda.
Anybody check that yet?
We got it staked out.
The brother works in a box factory at the south end of town. That's covered too.
Well, he's not going far with a broken arm.
What have you got?
Pawn shop rolled on 6th Street. Happened a few minutes ago.
Yeah?
Here's the description of the holdup man. Stocky build, blonde hair, horn-rimmed glances, chubby face.
You're wrong about that broken arm. Come on. 11:20 a.m. Ben and I pulled up at the East Asia Pawn Shop on 6th Street. Inside, we found the proprietor, Morris Brubaker, lying propped up against one of the showcases. He was an elderly man, and his face and head showed the marks of a savage beating. His wounds were hemorrhaging badly, and the ambulance attendants were giving him first aid. We showed him Charles Kirby's mugshot.
That's the man. I wouldn't make a mistake. That's him.
Was he alone, Mr. Brubaker?
Yeah, by himself. He asked to look at a watch, and when I turned to get it, he kicked me. I fell against a showcase and cut myself. He pulled me in the back room. He kept beating me.
Easy, Mr. Brubaker. Let me get this compress on.
How much did he get away with, do you know?
I'm not sure. Blue suit, blue overcoat, wraparound, navy blue, both. He kept hitting me.
All right, sir, you just take it easy. They'll have you out of here in a
He kept
minute.
hitting me like a crazy man.
This antiseptic might sting a little. Okay.
What else did he take, Mr. Brubaker? Can you remember?
Yes, from the cash register. He took money.
How much?
Oh, $30, $40. I can't be sure.
When he left your store, did you see which way he was going?
No, he dragged me in the back room. He locked me in.
We have to move him now, Sergeant.
Okay.
I don't know. I saw him going through the shelves back there, back of the counter. I don't know.
What did you keep there?
And my account books. And my gun. Box of shells.
You want to take a look, Ben?
Yeah.
My head.
Yes, sir. Just take it easy. It's only going to be a minute now.
The count book's still there.
Yeah?
You got the gun.
4 p.m. Kirby, alias the Badge Bandit, was still at large. As far as we were concerned, the case was almost back to where it started from 11 weeks before. The suspect was still loose. He was well armed, still free to rob, assault, and murder. We had two big advantages. Kirby's possible broken arm, which would need medical attention, and secondly, the lead to Kirby's brother. At 5:30 p.m., we had a report that the suspect was seen purchasing a ticket at the theater box office out on Hollywood Boulevard. We ran it out, didn't pay off. At 6:15, a taxi driver thought he spotted Kirby boarding an outbound streetcar at Figueroa in Pico. It was checked out. No results. At 7 o'clock, Ben and I got something to eat at a drive-in. Then we relieved the men on stakeout on the rooming house on Alameda Street, where Kirby's brother was staying. 10 p.m. Midnight. No sign of Kirby. We waited. At 3 a.m., Hanson and Cummings of Homicide relieved us, and Ben drove me home. It was 3:45 when he dropped me off at Collis Avenue, number 4656.
Joseph, is that you?
Yeah, I didn't mean to wake you.
Well, what time is it?
It's almost 4.
Oh, my, these late hours. You've got to get your rest, Joseph.
I'll be all right, Ma. We got something to eat in the icebox?
There's a little cold meat and some cheese in the cupboard.
I just want a sandwich. You go back to sleep.
I had some nice meatballs and spaghetti for dinner. I can warm some for you. My time standards, working all hours. You'll get sick, Joseph, and you'll see. Nobody cares about you when you're sick.
I wish you wouldn't get up, Ma. I can fix something.
I'll warm up the meatballs and spaghetti. You need something substantial.
I'll get that.
4 a.m. I hope it's not that office calling you again.
Hello?
Lorman down at Homicide.
Yeah, Norman?
Thought you'd like to know they just got Kirby.
Where?
At his brother's place. About 15 minutes ago, Hanson and Cummings grabbed him.
Any trouble?
No, grabbed him before he got to his gun. They just locked him up. Thought you'd like to know.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Norman.
Night.
Night.
What was it, Joseph?
The office, Ma. They got Kirby. The Badge Bandit.
Oh, did they? Well, that's nice. Maybe you'll have some time off now.
Yeah. Never fails, does it? You work on a case for 3 months, leave it for 30 minutes, and it's all over.
Hmm? Oh, the food's warm. Is there anything else you want?
No, that's fine, Ma. You go on to bed.
Well, all right, Joseph. Don't stay up too long.
All right. Night.
Good night.
Hey, Mom.
Yes, Joseph?
Have I still got that old tuxedo around?
The story you have just heard was true. Only the names were changed to protect the innocent. On June 27th, trial was held in Superior Court, Department 87, City and County of Los Angeles, State of California. In a moment, the results of that trial.
It's amazing how many long cigarette smokers are changing to extra mild Fatima. Here is the actual report. From coast to coast, Fatima has more than doubled its smokers. Yes, more and more smokers every day are discovering that Fatima is the king-size cigarette that is extra mild. Extra mild because it contains the finest Turkish and domestic tobaccos superbly blended to make it extra mild. And to give it a much better, much different flavor and aroma. Enjoy extra mild Fatima yourself. Best of all long cigarettes.
It's wise to smoke extra mild Fatima.
It's wise to smoke extra mild Fatima.
Charles Leon Kirby, alias the Badge Bandit, was tried and convicted in Superior Court on several counts of armed robbery, rape, and assault with intent to commit murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. After serving 1 year in the state penitentiary, he was judged insane and committed to the state mental hospital in Mendocino. After 2 months there, he escaped. Charles Kirby, alias the Badge Bandit, is still at large. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice for Dragnet comes from the Office of Chief of Police, W.A. Wharton. This is NBC, the National Broadcasting Company.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The Shadow knows.
Blue Coal presents The Shadow, the mystery man who strikes terror into the very hearts of sharpsters, lawbreakers, and criminals. Ladies and gentlemen, when you hear The Shadow's blood-curdling laugh, you can be sure that exciting entertainment will follow. And here is something else you can be sure of. When you buy Blue Coal, you're getting the finest of Pennsylvania hard coal. The harmless blue coloring that identifies Blue Coal is your guarantee of clean, even, safe, dependable heat all winter long. So don't take chances. Insist on Blue Coal. Ask for it by name. Phone your order to your nearest Blue Coal dealer tomorrow. Today, the Circle of Death.
Oh, Jack, what a delightful show. What a wonderful way to start our honeymoon.
Darling, when it comes to shows and girls, I'm a swell picker. Now, watch me pick a nightclub. Oh, taxi! Hey, taxi!
Oh, darling, I think you're wonderful. I've never had such a marvelous time in my life.
Hop in, honey.
Well, things are pretty quiet around the theater district tonight, Bill.
Yeah, pretty thin crowd.
I don't blame folks for staying away. After those 3 bombings and 15 people being blown to pieces, I wouldn't be here myself if it wasn't the commissioner's orders.
Same here. Boy, has this town got the jitters.
Commissioner Weston's hopping around like a cat on a hot stove.
I hear the Midtown Association's going to ask for his resignation if he don't catch that nut that's been scattering bombs around here like confetti on New Year's Eve.
The guys that's been pulling these jobs sure must have it in for a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a real screwball if you ask me. Look at the way he's always sending warnings to the newspapers before he blows another batch of pedestrians to Hades.
Yeah. And have you noticed how he always ends his notes by saying, "I hate crowds"?
Yeah, well, this is the time that crazy goof warned off. He sent off another blast.
Maybe his watch is slow.
Things are gonna pop if he pulls another job and kills any more people.
Well, maybe all the cops have scared him off.
Maybe.
Maybe not. Bill, look at that car! Blown to smithereens!
Mass killer strikes again! 5 more dead! Get your paper here! Paper! Read all about the maniacs further down!
It's horrible, Lamont, horrible.
It's senseless and insane, Margot. Crimes like this always are. Turn on the radio. It's time for the news bulletin. There's a switch in the dashboard.
All right.
An attack upon the inefficiency of the police department. Tonight at Midtown Hall, a meeting of the businessmen of the entertainment world and property owners is in progress. Police Commissioner Weston has been asked to defend his department and produce results or resign.
Yeah, that's enough, Margot.
Washington, D.C.
Now, listen carefully.
Yes, Lamont?
I want you to go to that protest meeting right over there at Midtown Hall. Commissioner Weston is speaking, and the crowd is pretty sure to heckle his explanation of the failure of his department to catch this feed.
I'm sure of it.
Now, here's what I want you to do. Keep quiet and watch your chance. Then I want you to cry out, "The Shadow could solve this crime without half trying."
Aren't you flattering yourself?
Never mind that, Margot. I have a very definite reason for doing this. A lot depends on your getting the crowd to take up your suggestion.
I'll do my best, Lamont. But where are you going?
I won't be far away. Hand me that leather case on the floor.
All right, here you are. Am I permitted enough womanly curiosity to ask what's in it?
Just a little wiretapping device.
Telephone?
No. Commissioner Weston will be talking over the loudspeaker system in Midtown Hall. Don't be surprised if the Shadow interrupts his speech. Now remember, Margot, cry out at the psychological moment. Hundreds of lives depend on it.
We don't want alibis, Commissioner! We want action, Weston!
Crazy man's making a fool of you, Weston!
Gentlemen! As I've explained to you, every available resource of the police department has been thrown into catching this fiend. Our bomb squads have combed the city. Every known criminal with psychopathic tendencies has been rounded up and questioned. Not one fragment of a bomb has been found. No buildings have been damaged. No one person has been singled out for death. This is not an ordinary crime. We are not dealing with an ordinary criminal.
Alibis, we've had enough. 15 people dead, 50 injured, and you talk! Business is at a standstill.
You're being ruined. The whole city's in a panic.
Get this fellow or resign, Weston. Get out and let the mayor appoint someone with brains enough to catch this maniac before he strikes again. Yes!
The Shadow could solve this crime without even half trying.
There's an idea, the Shadow.
Yeah, the Shadow could get it.
He's cracked cases for you before, Weston. Why don't you call him in?
He wouldn't have to do much of a better job than the police have.
Get the Shadow, Weston.
Yeah, get the Shadow. What about it, Commissioner?
Wait a minute!
2 weeks.
Wait a minute! Hold on! What makes you think this man who calls himself the Shadow is interested in law and order?
He's up to trap plenty of criminals, hasn't he?
Yes, he's tipped us off occasionally, but it may have been to get rid of rivals. We have no assurance he isn't a criminal himself.
What of it? A thief can catch a thief.
I don't run my department that way.
You're not running it at all.
That's a matter of opinion.
You're not running it.
I was asked here to tell you what we've been doing. You seem to think my department works with the Shadow. We don't. We never have. As for the Shadow, and you reporters can spread it all over the front pages, I challenge him to uncover one single scrap of evidence that my men have overlooked. I challenge the Shadow to find this maniac.
I am the Shadow. I accept that challenge. Commissioner Weston, I am working on the case. Gentlemen of the press, it will not be necessary for you to print the Commissioner's challenge. But you can print this challenge. To the arch-fiend behind this reign of terror, print this, gentlemen. The Shadow will trap the mass killer if he dares walk through the Central Arcade during the rush hour between 5 and 6 tomorrow night. Remember, the Central Arcade between 5 and 6 tomorrow night. I dare him to come to walk through the Central Arcade.
Extra paper! Shadow breaks up meeting. Challenges mass killer in Central Arcade. Read about the rush hour rendezvous in Central... Paper, mister?
Say, boy, you here. Hey, give me a paper.
That's 2 cents, mister.
Here's your 2 cents.
Thanks, here's a paper.
No, not the one on top. People, crowds have seen it.
Well, so what? They're all the same.
No. Give me the one underneath.
Okay. Customer's always right. Mass murderer challenged by the Shadow. Get some extra paper.
The Central Arcade tomorrow, eh? So he's daring me, this Shadow fellow. He knows I hate crowds. Crowds and people pushing, getting in my way, voices talking and shouting. I hate them! But I'll show them. I'll show the Shadow fellow too. I'll fool all of them. I'll accept his challenge. I'll be there at the Central Arcade, eh? And this Shadow fellow will know I was there. The whole world will know after I've gone.
Your orders have been carried out, Commissioner Weston.
Good. There better not be any slip-ups.
200 patrolmen have been stationed in the neighborhood of the Central Arcade. 50 picked men of the plainclothes and bomb squad will be in the crowd, if there is a crowd.
There'll be a mob after all the publicity. If I could get my hands on the Shadow, I'd wring his neck for this. What time is it?
A little after 4, sir.
You better get down there pretty soon.
Yes, sir. Shall I take that call, sir?
No, I've been waiting for this. And if it's who I think it is... Hello? Listen to me, Shadow!
No, Commissioner Weston. You listen to me.
I'm listening. Quick, guys. Trace this call.
Yes, sir.
Don't bother, Commissioner. You can't trace this call. I've tapped a line, just as I tapped the Midtown loudspeaker system last night.
So that's how you pulled this crazy stunt. You're a fool, Shadow. Don't you realize you endanger the lives of thousands of people?
Nothing will happen if you do not interfere.
I don't take my orders from you, Shadow. You're not running the police department.
I'm not giving orders, but I need your help. Just do one thing for me, and you, and not the Shadow, will get the credit for the capture of the mass killer.
Oh, yes? Well, what do you want?
Just keep the crowd moving through the narrow arcade. Just keep them moving. Keep them moving. Everything depends on that.
What are you trying to do, Shadow?
To find a needle in a haystack. A man in a million.
You haven't a chance. The maniac won't come.
You overlook the fact that a dare is a powerful psychological magnet that no egotistical, crazed mind can resist. Just keep that crowd moving, Commissioner. Keep them moving.
When you start figuring ways and means to save money for Christmas gifts, fuel is probably the last thing that comes to mind. Naturally, you don't want to jeopardize the health and comfort of your family, but did you know that you can actually have a better heat for less money simply by burning blue coal? Here's why. Blue coal is a rich Pennsylvania anthracite, the fuel that furnaces, space heaters, and cooking ranges in this part of the country were especially designed to burn. And while other fuel prices are advancing, the cost of anthracite is not. No wonder thousands of homeowners are switching back to anthracite. No wonder anthracite is the fuel that is used for cooking purposes on the nation's crack passenger trains. They've tested all kinds of fuel and found that anthracite is far more economical because it burns long, steadily, evenly, with minimum drafts and less attention. Now, the cream of all Pennsylvania anthracite is blue coal. It comes from the mines of the famous Glen Alden Coal Company. It's tested and retested for purity and uniform sizing. Blue coal is prepared especially for home, and it comes in all domestic sizes: egg, stove, chestnut, and pea. So if you want clean, even, dependable heat at lowest cost, always order blue coal. Phone your nearest blue coal dealer tomorrow. You'll find his name listed in the Where to Buy It section of your classified telephone directory under the name Blue Coal.
Quit blocking the arcade. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Well, the time's almost up, Commissioner Weston.
Yes, 2 minutes to 6. Oh, this is the longest hour I've ever spent in my life.
Can you beat it? The way people have flocked here on the chance of seeing somebody else blown to bits by this maniac?
Looks like the Shadow was right. The way they've been swarming through this arcade.
Yeah, and watching each other like a bunch of wild animals. You see what happened to that poor guy with the Christmas box? They nearly killed him before we got out. All he had was a doll for his kid.
I saw it.
Well, time's up, Commissioner.
Oh, yes. Thank heavens.
Any orders, sir?
Just keep your men on duty till this crowd thins out. We'll be going home now.
Commissioner Weston, look.
What is it?
The maniac. He's been here. Look at this piece of paper.
Where did you get it?
In the arcade. He must have dropped it.
What's it say, Commissioner?
Tell that Shadow fellow I'll kill me a lot more people at 11 o'clock tonight.
Oh, Lamont, I was so afraid something had happened to you.
Something has. I've found the maniac.
Oh, thank heavens. Have you notified the police?
Margot, this man is a fiend. If I notify the police and they bungle things, he might kill hundreds of people. This is a job that the Shadow must handle alone.
But Lamont, it's dangerous. You might fail. He might kill you.
The Shadow won't fail, Margot. But if he should, it's a far better thing that one die than hundreds.
Oh, Lamont, please. There must be a safer way.
Perhaps, Margot. But this is the only sure way to end the career of this mass killer. Goodbye, my dear.
Lamont? Oh, Lamont!
Look lively, Connors. Here comes headquarters car.
Yeah, it's Commissioner Weston's car. He's plenty worried about this maniac threatening to kill another batch of people at 11 tonight.
Well, he'll have to go out to the theater area to kill him. They won't let anybody in the district here without a police permit.
Wait a minute. Here comes a guy.
Hey! You!
Who? Me?
Yeah, you! Where do you think you're going?
Me? Well, I'm going to work. That's where I'm going.
You got a permit?
Got a badge. See? Says I'm a night watchman. I've got to go to work.
What do you watch? Where do you work?
I watch things in the ground. Down there.
Down there?
Down under the street. Down under the planks.
Oh, I get it, Bill. He's a night watchman down on the new subway that they're building.
Ah.
Yes, that's it. I go down them steps. Every night I go down them steps and watch.
Well, why didn't you say so? Get on with you. Get to your watching.
Thank you. Joe Tonetti is waiting for me so he can go home. Every night at 10:30, I take from him the job of watching.
Now that's a job I wouldn't want to be part of.
Me neither. I'll pound my beat on the street.
Oh, Joey Tonetti. Joey, you can go home now. I'm here to watch.
Hey, what's the matter? You're a half a bag, Spivak. You're 5 minutes late. I want to go home. Here's the keys to everything now. Watch out, don't even go to sleep.
The police don't want to let me come to work, but I showed them the badge. You can go home now, Joey. I'll watch everything.
Okay, see you in the morning. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All those people, always pushing me. But I'll show them. I'll fix them good. I'll kill him. That Shadow fella, I'll show him too. Now I'm alone, all alone.
Not quite alone, Anton Spivak. You are not quite alone. I am with you.
Huh?
Do you hear my voice, Anton?
Sure. I always hear voices in the dark, on the street. Here under the street where I watch every night.
Yes, Anton, but you've never heard my voice before, have you?
Well, maybe. I don't think so. What's so different about your voice?
It's the voice of the Shadow.
Ooh, you're a pretty smart voice. How'd you find me? Where's that shadow fellow the newspapers talk about?
I am more than just a voice, Anton Spivak. I am the Shadow.
You're the Shadow?
Yes.
Where are you hiding?
I am hiding under the cloak of invisibility. You cannot see me because I have clouded your mind, so you cannot see that which is here.
How did you get down here in this subway excavation?
I followed you down the steps.
Well, how'd you know where to find me?
I picked you out of the crowd in the central arcade.
Well, how did you know I was the one?
Your eyes showed me. I then knew how much you hate crowds.
My eyes showed you?
Yes. You passed close to me as I stood in the shadows.
Yeah?
The arcade is narrow. You didn't see me. No one saw me. But I saw you.
Well, how'd you find out my name?
I followed you to the place where you live. I found out you work here, in the tunnel.
Then you followed me here from my room tonight.
Yes, Anton Spivak, all the way.
Good. Oh, you're a very clever Shadow. But you must go now and let me do my work. I ain't got that much time. Now you go quick before I get mad. You're plenty smart. I'm glad to know you, Mr. Shadow, but no, you have to go.
Yes, I'm smart, but you're smarter.
You bet.
Let me stay. I want to learn. You can teach me things. Then maybe we can work together.
You hate people too?
Yes, I hate crowds. Let me watch you and learn.
All right, I'll let you watch.
What are you going to do?
Oh, you just watch.
What's in this shed?
You see? Dynamite. Sticks and sticks of dynamite.
Is this what you use to kill people with?
Yeah. My precious dynamite. They kill the crowds I hate, see? Now, look here. Here's a stick of dynamite. All fused. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 sticks of dynamite to go with it. Now you watch it. Now see, Shadow, I tie them together.
But how do you take that dynamite to the place where you killed all those people? It's a block away. How do you carry it?
Oh, that's where I'm smarter than you, Mr. Shadow.
Show me.
I'll show you. Now, look, see, it's almost 11 o'clock. Now, here. You see this little hook? I hook the dynamite to it.
Then what, Anton?
Wait, you hear that car overhead? On the boards?
Yes.
Well, if the light is red, it'll stop right over our heads. Now listen. There, you see? The light is red. Now I take this crowbar. I go up the ladder. Oh, come on, you come with me.
Yes, I'm still here, although you cannot see me.
Now you watch. I pry the end of the plank back, see? And I hook the dynamite on the breaker rod. I strike a match, and I light the fuse. And when the light changes, the car takes the dynamite with it, and when the dynamite explodes a block away, I'm still here. When the... Oh, no, you put out the fuse, you tricked me.
And here is the dynamite.
No, you took it off the car, it's gone without the dynamite. And I promise I'd kill a lot of people tonight. Now I'll have to wait. Tomorrow the crowds will still be pushing me, scaring me. You tricked me. That's what you did. You tricked me... 'Where are you, Shadow? 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 ' Shadow. Come here, Shadow. Nice shadow. Nice shadow.
I'm here, Anton Spivak.
Yes, I hear you. Nice shadow. Come closer to me.
Put down that dynamite, Anton.
No, Shadow. I'll light another match.
If you touch that match to the fuse, you'll die too.
But I'll kill you, and I don't care. You wouldn't let me kill people, and I don't want to live. I want to die. I want you to die too, Shadow.
Wait, Anton.
No. You blew out my match.
Yes, I have a plan. Those thousands of people waiting up the street.
Yes.
You can kill all those people. Wouldn't that be better than just killing the two of us?
Well, how? Tell me how.
Take your dynamite and come with me up the steps, up to the street.
Oh, no. There's a policeman out there. I saw them.
But they won't see you any more than you can see me.
No. They will see me.
Hypnotize them. Hypnotize them. Look straight at them. Stare at them. And then they won't be able to see you.
No. I'm afraid.
Think of all those people waiting to be killed. Come. Just a few more steps. I am with you. You'll be safe.
Well, I'll try. All those people waiting to be killed. I'll try. But don't you leave me, Shadow, or I'll light the fuse.
I'm here, Anton Spivak. Look, there are the two policemen. Just stare at them hard as you pass, and they won't see you.
All right, I'll try.
Well, it's past 7, Connors. Looks like a false alarm this time. Hey, wait a minute. There's that night watchman. Hey, what's the matter with him? What's he staring at? Look what he's carrying.
You can't see me. You can't see.
Dynamite. Grab him.
What?
Hold it.
No,
Here, I got him. It's the masked killer.
No.
Take it away from him.
Oh, he lied. He fooled me. He said you couldn't see me. No. Give me back my dynamite. I want to kill all those people.
Hold him.
No, let go.
Here's Commissioner Weston. We got the maniac, Chief.
Good work, men. Let me get a look at him.
No. He tricked me. He said you couldn't see me.
Where'd he come from?
Up out of the subway, Commissioner. He's a night watchman.
No, he tricked me. The Shadow tricked me.
Oh, it was the Shadow.
Yes, Commissioner Weston, the Shadow. I found the killer, but the glory is all yours.
The story you have just heard is copyrighted by The Shadow magazine. The characters in this story are entirely fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, Luke Cole will again present another thrilling adventure of The Shadow. Be sure to listen. Your announcer, Arthur Whiteside.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We hope you've enjoyed our wonderful look at the classic detective dramas from the golden age of radio. We're coming near the end of our 7th season, performing these shows here at the Oak Park Arms for the residents and the extended community. We're already in plans for our upcoming 8th season, beginning in September, full of more exciting, scary, dramatic, and funny shows to to entertain your ears and spark your imaginations. So keep an eye out for our posters, and you can always visit our website, www.TTDY.radio, for archived shows, photos, and fond memories and stories from our past shows. And now, the cast of those thrilling days of yesteryear. Our Dragnet announcer, Sergeant Orman, and second cop Bill, as well as a crowd rowdy, Doug Page. Our commercial announcer, Morris Brubaker, Anton Spivak, John Corona. Our Fatima Man, Deputy D.A. Broker, and the Shadow, Lamont Cranston, Steve Schroeder. Woman, police radio announcer, and Margot Lane, Pam Turlow. The role of Sergeant Joe Friday, as well as the newspaper vendor and the radio announcer, Evan Cater. And Joe Friday's ma, as well as a crowd rowdy, Amy Kennedy. Captain Steve, Charles Leon Kirby, and Commissioner Weston, John Gould. The roles of Sergeant Ben Romero, the first cop Connors, and crowd rowdy, Matt Gilbert. And Officer Taylor, Chief Thad Brown, Jack, and other crowd rowdy, Aaron Wolfenson. Studio man, medic, shadow announcer, and Joey Tonetti, Don Gingle. And Officer Dorothy River and darling Julie Rogers-Baker. And what radio show would be complete without the synchronous sound effect stylings of Julie Rogers-Baker and Steve Schroeder? For today's episodes being directed by our own Craig Gustafson. And of course, special thanks to the magnificent musical magic of Bob Maureen on the piano. And I am your producer, Ben Dooley, who also helped with sound effects. And on behalf of the entire cast, we'd like to extend our thanks to you, the audience, for once again helping our shows to come alive, and for living those thrilling days of yesteryear so that we could bring them back to you.